Hey everybody, welcome back. We are watching Ozark. We're on season 1, episode 7? 7, and it is called Nest Box. We talk about nest egg, so I'm not sure what a nest box is. Maybe all that money that Marty has in the pontoon. But I just summed it up on the last episode, so I just want to go ahead and get into it and see what happens on this one. And we're still peeling oranges, just in case you don't remember from last time. All right, let's get into it.
They put up a cross.
Oh, we didn't get a symbol this time, unless it's coming up.
If you are satisfied with your message.
Shut the fuck up.
I thought he had already hung up. And their last names is Ohms, because that sounds like the meditation Om.
Hi.
What's going on?
Well, Snell's thinking about getting into business with
Never
Marty.
touch a woman's belly without her
I'm not
permission.
planning.
That was a close call.
You understand punitive interest, don't you, Mark?
$724,000 is all I've got, and it's earmarked.
All you got sounds about right.
So he's going to take the dirty money? Well, they know where his hiding place is
Just
now.
been hearing the dam's let out. Got on my back. Just about broke my chain to get there.
Is there a point to this story?
Heard the sirens. Shirked my responsibilities.
No, basically he's telling him not to shirk his responsibilities because there'll be consequences. So how's he going to make up that money? Oh, now we get our symbol. So we've got goggles. Maybe swim goggles? That looks like swim goggles. Although they usually have one band around the back of the head. So I'm not positive on that. Then we got a hog that's smoking on a spit. And we got some gasoline. So somebody's going to set fires to something. And it looks like a prison fence. Is Ruth going back to prison to visit whoever that guy was? Hopefully not her daddy.
Invasive species wreak havoc on our
That's a pretty bird.
None worse than
Had some iridescent colors from the sun.
Shakespeare's
Maybe he really was interested in the vultures.
Eastern bluebird. More strange and perhaps tragic.
I like bluebirds, and indigo buntings are very pretty too.
Incapacitate in the blink of an eye.
We still don't know if Wendy's worried about Marty.
If you kill one female, you stop the production of 11 birds.
I think that's a no. At least he asked.
I love you.
He is still kind of showing some signs of some conduct disorder at the very least. They still have the bobcats. I like how it swung its butt at him.
You seen Cade today?
If you didn't want to worry, you shouldn't have
Cade.
fucking hit me.
I reacted fast, without thinking.
Is that an apology?
Now, not whatever tidbit your niece decides to throw at you because he's dead.
Why are you doing this?
Yeah, he's a bit aggressive about
I
Marty.
think you are.
Yeah, I'll tell him if I see him. Thanks.
They're up in their cut. Is she going to confront him about it?
The next month or so, they won't even notice that it was ever gone. You're all dressed up.
What about the blue cat?
Not really.
A mermaid.
My wife and I just moved in from Boston last week. If she has to stay in a motel any longer, she's going to divorce me.
Something's up with this guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Just started, so we have this influx of good property.
That's not the other FBI guy, is it?
You to see a place at the
I know
Four Seasons,
there's
and
only
then we'll head
2
over to
FBI,
Sea
right?
Crest, and we'll
The-
swing by the main strip. So it's a 5-star tour.
The one that's with Russ and the black guy?
Wendy Bird. When did you stop being Wendy Bird?
Is he working for
have we met
Gary's
before?
son?
Okay, what do you want?
We've been clear. 8 million clean.
At the end of the summer.
One of Dell's guys.
He knows the kids' names.
What do you sound like?
Like a scary motherfucker. Like this is some kind of game to him.
That's
You
a
say you know
good
who this
description.
is? Listen, I hate to see someone with so much potential just, you know, but we probably just shouldn't talk
Did
about
he
it.
mention something
Well, how would
else? I
I do
don't
anything
remember
different
him
at this
mentioning
point,
anything
Mom?
else.
My mom, she lives off that money.
Well, not all of it, surely.
She's going to try to get him to invest
I
in
guess
her.
not. 906,000. I mean, according to the last statement.
That would be what
That's
they needed.
plenty. Which is, more than you have, but maybe I could talk to him.
It makes you start thinking, wondering, all that kind of stuff. I've been trying to track my retirement stuff. I've got 5 accounts. I always can't keep track of them, but 5 accounts that I've been trying to track, and you know, stock and all that kind of stuff goes up and down, and I don't understand it all, but I do know that it's always behind what's currently going on as far as what you're seeing, and it varies a lot. Like, for instance, my stepfather said one year back early 2000, I think it was when the housing market crash, the recession then. I think it was during that time he was talking about how he lost $80,000 in his stocks, but for that year he was in the black 180,000. So, when you look at it at a quarter, if you look at only one quarter and how much you lost in that quarter and then start panicking, it can hurt you. And so I know not to watch the numbers too hard. um, but this kind of investing, which I know not the dirty laundering part, but just investing in general, like a friend's company or something like that. There's actually a project I want to do, and I can't get Dad to do the mock up that I'm wanting. So I'm going to visit an attorney and get a contract written up and then advertise for what I'm needing. But it takes time usually for businesses, and having an investor invest a large amount takes a lot of faith in that person. So either they're a good talker and a good charmer, or the investor usually knows the person pretty well, unless the investor is just stupid. If if they just invest in anything, in which case that's not so good, and they're probably not a good investor. So they won't be rich long, unless they're so rich they've got money to throw away. But it it's enough to not understand it all, but also understand enough to be worried. So, yeah, all this investment talk keeps flashing me back to my own stuff, and trying to project how much I'm going to have at this point in time and blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, just made me start thinking. And I know what they're talking about has nothing to do with retirement, but you know, that's just what I was thinking of. We'll just leave it at that.
What, are you going to be strong-armed by your mommy for the rest of your life?
Yeah, he's
Don't
a
do
mama's
him now.
boy.
I mean, Marty's last name is Bird.
All right, I'll talk to her.
Good.
Okay.
Good. And
I
if it
didn't
gets
realize
done,
she
you'll be
goes
able to do
by
whatever it
Wendy
is you want to
Davis.
do.
Did we know that? Is there a reason why she
I
does
can't
that?
believe that. It's a church.
Peter, the apostle, the rock in which the church was built. Right, yeah, well, sewage was so different back then, you know?
Stop. Marty, hey, we're not going to let a bunch of bureaucrats get in the way of our God-given right.
You're not going to
He's
do
going to have to
anything
tell him the
on this
truth.
property. Tell me you're going to stay on the water. Mason, hey. Grace?
He dropped a bomb on
He
him.
will.
I got lucky, I guess.
Humble. Not much like you.
He'll turn easy.
So he's talking, yeah, talking to him.
So let's not bring in a gaggle of feds.
And fuck it all up.
I'm not saying
That's
that.
true.
Is there something about this Langmore I don't understand?
I've been sleeping with
No.
him.
Omega. Damn.
They fish and trash out of the lake,
That's
find money that
bad
fell
news.
out of their pockets,
Higher end, making people come to me for a change.
going legit.
By yourself? but I see things, perception-wise.
Okay.
What do you see?
What I'm saying is, we're all different in what people think, in some ways.
Ah, he knows he's gay.
Nothing wrong with it. You want to do something else, be something else, I got your back, that's all.
That's sweet.
We're not the kind of people who run from something like
We
this.
have a child to worry about
That
now.
God will protect. Just like he did in St. Louis.
Mason.
That bullet was 3/10 of an inch from rupturing my aorta. We
Don't
went
trust that
pain-free.
miracles
That
will
is
happen
not
just because
a
you
coincidence.
have been saved.
God wasn't protecting you. The kid had shitty aim.
Well, I don't think the aim was too shitty, but it was
He
luck.
didn't.
Signing this is essential in early adolescence, since we're developing and cementing our personal moral code.
What,
while
saying
peer
I'm not going to
pressure
do
is
drugs?
I need the paper, Jonah. Signed.
He's a smart little boy.
You wouldn't want me to sign something I don't completely believe in, would you?
Quiet.
Well, it's just not that simple.
How is it not that simple? Drugs are addictive. They cause crime and death.
And they also prop up the U.S. economy. I mean, I'd definitely sign something that says it'd be great if people didn't get addicted to drugs, but people are. And the family needs a car.
I'm liking
And people
Jonah.
theory that says drug
Makes
money
me
is the
wonder
only
even
thing
more
that
if
prevents
he's
the
going to
collapse of the
grow up to
global
be
economy.
antisocial
Doesn't it?
personality.
Healthcare, probably even education, maybe even part of this school.
Step aside for a minute, please.
You gotta admit he's right. Economically speaking, I mean, it's not easy to hear, but
It's not.
I figured Marty would back him up on that.
Right.
This is a large public school, Mrs. Bird.
voicemail.
I'm glad they walked out on him.
And then Wyatt came over and talked to her. They went down the hall and I had to go to class.
Wyatt Langmore.
Hey, buddy.
You forgot I was here.
I did not forget you were here.
Yes, he did.
It's okay. There's a lot going on.
Yep, a lot going on. Nothing more important than you, though.
Nice save, Marty. Nice save. This reminds me of childhood. Not the guns part. So we often, when I was little, elementary school little, would go to friends and we kind of rotated the houses on who would go to whose house and that sort of thing. And I remember at two of the houses that we would go to, that the families would go to and hang out and all that kind of stuff and picnic and frisbee and volleyball and music and all that kind of stuff. But at two of the houses, we would make homemade ice cream. And so I remember doing the crank and doing the ice and salt, crank, crank, crank the whole time, and then eating the ice cream later. So kind of reminds me of that. Go figure, it would be his house.
Hi, good to see you. I'm close. That's good to hear.
Is that Mason?
Flowers.
Is he going to admit the truth?
Poppies, mainly. Why? I'm sorry, why?
Is he going to be
When
killed?
you preach, what about our souls? Can they be saved? Or maybe
Nope.
they ain't lost. Darlene, stay and listen.
I'm through listening.
Stay and listen.
She wants to go get a heroin needle.
He's a religious man because he's an angel.
They're going to tell him the truth on Marty.
Martin Bird wanted church.
Talked him into it, but not the way I thought he would. I thought he'd be more threatening. Found her.
It all
Are
comes
they just
down
leaving
to
Ruth
safety
behind?
and trust. And Sam, I appreciate the meeting.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful piece of art, by the way, behind him. Son, should we do it? Thank you guys very much.
Knew that would be the way to her heart.
Do this.
Oh, they got her. Ruth is kind of wishing she had this kind of family. She has to wear that lipstick specifically for him, doesn't she? It seemed like a weird entrance for her to go into the prison. That looked more like the docking area. Well, I forget what they call it. Not docking, but where the bus transports go through and any deliveries and all that kind of stuff usually go through one gate and then possibly a second gate with all the searches and all that kind of stuff. But usually people go into a building in the front of the prison and get searched and everything there. And then they go back behind the perimeter, the fenced in area. So a little surprised by that type of entrance. That being said, there is an outside fence along the boundaries of the property. And so maybe that's what that was supposed to be, but it looked more like the delivery area. So just a little weird, based on all the prisons I've been to, which are not a lot, but still.
You know where the phrase, don't stick your neck out, comes from? Fucking
Executions.
chickens. When they feel their head in the chopping block, they actually stick their fucking necks out.
Stupid chickens.
This is
No.
awkward.
I told you.
So who is this
Don't go
Cade
back here
guy?
until he's dead.
I think I totally missed who he is. Now, is she going to notice?
You hate it here too.
Yep. Yeah, that's not how entrances work. Is she going to start crying?
Lick peanut butter off his feet.
He's listening to Wendy and standing up to her.
Can I ask you a question? Why do you have to be such a constant 24/7 nagging, incessant fucking bitch?
Wow.
Yeah, that's right, Mom. Surprise, they're married.
Uh-oh. Stood up to Mom, but it didn't work.
Are you really doing this right
now?
She's going to get hit by a car. Oh, jeez. How did that truck not see her?
I called the place Fly Life. You can change it if you want, but
Is it a
I think it's a
brochure?
pretty cool name, right?
I haven't heard about Kinko since college. Is he burning his boat? Burning the church. Oh, Mason. Hope the pine trees don't catch fire. They usually are pretty dry. Catch fire pretty easily.
I mean, nothing's gone right for us since he's been here. Now he's outed us to the preacher?
She does like to murder, doesn't she?
100 million a year to treat. They're on the list of the world's worst invaders.
Wonder if that's true about starlings.
Charlotte? You okay? Honey? All right, just down to the first buoy. That's it. Okay?
Something gonna happen? Trying to remember all the symbols. Goggles. The gasoline can we've already had. I can't remember the other two symbols.
I have done nothing.
Is something gonna happen to her?
Support you, and I.
Let's say exactly
What's she
what we
looking
feel.
for?
You
She's
wanna-
gonna
you
tell
wanna
him about
talk
the video.
Trail? Really? You want to go there? Okay. You have a video on your computer of me 27 times.
Do you
Marty.
think I wanted to
There's
see
a
that
counter?
once, Wendy?
If you knew,
How's there a
why
counter?
didn't you confront me?
I've never seen a counter on my files. Is Jonah hearing everything?
The first drink that he bought you.
Oh, is she getting exhausted and
You could have
drowning?
said no. Well, maybe I was trying to protect you.
I didn't want protection.
Is
I
the
wanted
old
you.
guy hearing everything they're talking about?
Necessity, not desire.
Cold. Is she drowning? Yep. What's that line? That cable. She's dead. Is she purposely trying to hold her breath? She's purposely trying to kill herself, and her body's not gonna let her. Although she left, so maybe she wasn't trying to kill herself, but just kind of tempting fate. Maybe that's what it was. A lot going on. That's kind of where I'm at. A lot going on. We've got Snell's bride wanting to kill people, Marty, and we've got the FBI getting closer. Charlotte is on a death wish. Jonah, like I said, he's probably conduct disorder, just with some of his behavior and what he's into and that sort of thing. I won't be surprised if he ends up killing somebody or something at the end of this season. Can't talk anymore. I know the old guy said that if he's in the separate area in the basement, can't hear anything. They wouldn't hear each other, but they were pretty loud. So I wouldn't be surprised if old guy or Jonah or both heard everything they were talking about. We got Mason, I think that's his name, the preacher, who is just kind of teetering. He's like wild a wild card, a loose cannon. I was starting to mix my metaphors. Wendy, yeah, um, she's got backup plans. You can tell she's got that going on. The real estate guy just lost his mom. There's no way she survived that. And how is that going to affect the bank transfer? A lot going on, a lot of questions. They've definitely built up the tension and the questions for the final episode, and we're not even there yet. We still have 2 more episodes before the finale. So this is all interesting. And Ruth is obviously uncomfortable with that guy, Cade or Kane. And I thought it was her dad, but they refer to him in his proper name, which I mean is possible. It could still be her dad. But then some of the things they talked about, like the inside you, I'm hoping I misheard that. She is obviously uncomfortable with him, and he's obviously done stuff to her. I just don't know what all he's done to her. She gets very submissive around him, and uncomfortable and uneasy. And she does put that red lipstick on just for him for some reason. But she wasn't looking too good there at the end. And he did say that she was looking like a whore, which I don't think she looked like a whore, but she was not looking pretty. But I don't know who he is and what his role is. I don't know if that's dad or if that's maybe like dad's partner or something like that. Partner in crime. But something's going on there and something's going to happen. So we will see. And I think they showed us her entering the prison that way for a specific reason, but maybe not. But they held on to it much longer than they really needed to. So I wonder if that has anything to do with what's coming up too. So don't know. We shall see. But thank you for joining me on this one, and I'll see you on the next one.